Hello everyone and welcome to another Fowl Original with me, good old Fowl Original, here with the intro of Games Master, one of the most awesome TV shows of allest of time. It was amazing. For those of you that were in the UK, that grew up here in the UK, Games Master was a TV show which, before the internet, allowed you to see games, like games, Ian there, Brian, game stuff. It was crazy. The kind of, oh, you see all the people have their stuff. And very sad news today as Games Master is closing its doors. Now, I want to tell you about a place that never closes its doors. It's always open. It wants you to go there and look at my big old bird face. If you go to fowloriginal.com, you will see my big old bird face. When you see my big old bird face, you can go ahead down there and you can click support the channel. If you click support the channel, it will take you to a fowloriginal.com/support, take you to a Patreon page and also streamlabs.com/fowloriginalwrestling. You can also go ahead and go to the donate button, which is the PayPal button, which is the easiest and the thing that most people seem to find the easiest to do. You can go ahead and give me $5, make it a monthly donation to help support my channel on the regs. Hello there, Amir. And you can also give me that as a one-off donation and say, I am Amir here. And I'll say, thank you very much, Armour. And let's take you back to our story of today. So UK magazine Games Master closes its doors. This is a story that I found here on, well, I found it in several places. It's a little bit of a story which isn't necessarily today's story, but I definitely wanted to cover it. Now, here it is over in themetro.co.uk. This is how you do cross-branding, everyone. Games Master and Games TM magazines to close next month. This was from Friday, but I felt like obviously it's been the weekend. I haven't had a chance. It's Monday, the 22nd of October, and it's Games Master. It's got a t-shirt offer inside Animal Crossing. It's finally coming to the Switch. And Devil May Cry 5. Future Publishing has announced that two of the UK's longest running games mags are to cease publication this year. The British video games magazine business has taken another major blow with the loss of two of its most prestigious periodicals. Despite the company's strong performance overall, unfortunately Games TM and Games Master are no longer profitable parts of the business, which means that their next issues on sale November 1st will be the final edition, said Future Publishing in a statement. The decision was an extremely difficult one, but everyone here is enormously proud of what the magazines have achieved in their lifetimes. Incredible 25 years in Games Master's case, and we are currently redeploying affected staff within the company. There's Games TM, I guess Games Master, but for the edgy kids. Both are multi-format magazines. Games Master have originally been created as a tie-in to the TV show of the same name, which we played at the top of this show. That was back in January 1993. Whoa, I feel old, though. And the magazine not only outlasted the show, but almost all its competitors, with only Edge magazine, which started a few months later, remaining in terms of multi-format mags. Games TM also had a healthy, lengthy pedigree and was launched in 2002 as a rival to Edge by Imagine Publishing. When Future acquired Imagine in 2016, the quality of the magazine was enough to convince to keep it running. The closures mean that the only games magazines left at Future Publishing are Edge, the official Xbox and PlayStation magazines, PC Gamer and Retro Gamer. Future's web presence is handled by Games Radar Plus, which is likely to be where many of the X magazine staff end up. So, very, very sad news. Very sad news, really. Games Master is a massive deal over here. So Patrick Moore, just a legend, legend of the sport, legend of the life. Hello there, Wrestling World. How you doing? Now, thank you for joining us, Wrestling World. And as I said, wrestling stuff happens over on Fowl Original Wrestling. Got some stuff happening there on Wednesday. Also, potentially we'll be having some new segments coming up, and some new things happening in Newsround and also within the wrestling. But wherever you're joining free, please like, share, subscribe, follow, all those things. UK Games Master. My personal thought on this is it's very, very sad, but I'm surprised it took this long. However, I feel like I will be going and buying the final Games Master because I used to buy it all the time when I was younger. And yeah, Games Master on TV was our first look, if you're over here in the UK, at many of the games of the moment. We had like Bad Influence, Games Master, Bits a little bit later on, a little bit more sexy. Three ladies talking about video games. One of them a doctor of video games now. UK Games Master closed its doors. Top story of the day for those of you in the UK. Which takes us to another story. And as I said, these are stories that I find interesting before we go into the real of the night. But also another big story is Netflix cancels Marvel's Iron Fist and Luke Cage TV series. This to me was again something that wasn't necessarily surprising, especially as Disney are going to be launching a streaming service. Oh, hello there. Hello there, Fashion Bosquito. I personally am very, very sad for this. Luke Cage looked like it was about to get amazing. Season 3, the whole like no spoilers, the whole King of Harlem situation. I thought that would be pretty sweet. Had like angel vibes to me in my mind. And Iron Fist, I've watched part of this season. I got into Daredevil. I love Daredevil. I'm on episode 6 now, and oh my god, it's really good. But Luke Cage is all. Iron Fist has always been a bit with me, but Luke Cage has been phenomenal, 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 and I'm quite sad about this. Does this mean that they're going to move to the Disney streaming service and just kind of take where they picked up where they left off? Nobody knows. Nobody knows right now. Or was this Netflix? Because the thing is Netflix are the ones that cancelled them. So we don't know if this is urged on by Disney or if this was something which was urged on just by, you know, by Netflix themselves, or like, we don't need you no more. We don't need you, Marvel, because all the Disney movies, all the Marvel films will go there. The Disney streaming service we're going to be talking about on a later show from now, because it's a really big story, and I'd like to talk about it. But for now, the Disney streaming service is due to start next year, and we'll see what happens. It's built on the same company that did the WWE Network, and the WWE Network really, really does work. It's amazing. I'm a big fan of it. So that's that story. Now, let's take you into, again, Whistle Stop Tour. We've changed the format. We made it work. We made it happen, Captain. That's what we do. Why am I speaking like this? Because I can, goddammit. Because I'm Fowl and goddamn rich, you know. Let's take you to in other news. So, in other news today, loads of news, actually. Now, I wanted to very, very, very briefly touch upon the Brexit stuff that's happening, because, of course, there's Brexit stuff. But first of all, let's take to the Twitter as I kind of zip through some in other news. So, Julia Louis-Dreyfus talks cancer and politics during a Mark Twain prize speech. The award-winning actor who's become one of the best-known comedic performers with hit shows like Seinfeld and Veep was the latest recipient of the Mark Twain Prize. Julia Louis-Dreyfus there. Julia Louis-Dreyfus accepted the Mark Twain Prize, considered the top honor in comedy for a career that has continually tested the boundaries traditionally set for women in the field. And you can see standing ovation. She's Julie as she enters the basement. Sorry, the basement. Enters. She had a recent battle with stage 2 breast cancer to become a source of comic material for the night. She cares not. She just does it. Cancer is not funny at all, but a big part of dealing with it has been finding the funny moments, and that's what Julia Louis-Dreyfus says. Cancer isn't funny, but finding the funny moments does probably help. And oh my god, Tina Fey, Julia let Elaine be selfish and petty and sarcastic and a terrible, terrible dancer. Julia's never been afraid to be unlikable, not on screen and not in person. Julia Dreyfus, I'm watching them for battling breast cancer. Healthcare should be for all. When I was a kid, Kennedy Center just seemed like a fancy sounding name, but now I think about it, Kennedy Center could easily be another euphemism for the Devil's Triangle. Brexit equals bollocks it, yeah. And then we've obviously got in other news, Netflix cancels Marvel's Luke Cage. Netflix has announced that it will not return for a third season, which is very, very, very sad. Um, Now, let's take you to also in other news, which I think I should touch upon, which is why has the Rosa Parks episode got people talking? I don't watch Doctor Who. I don't watch Doctor Who no more. I haven't watched Doctor Who really since the Peter Capaldi days anyway. I kind of fell off during the Matt Smith days. I tried. I'd watch an episode every now and then. But now it's just a foreign language to me. And on Sunday, there was an episode with Rosa Parks, and they went to 1950s Alabama, and it was an episode where they meet Rosa Parks, and she refuses to give up her bus seat, and people commented that the writers hadn't undermined the legacy of Rosa Parks, not being into Doctor Who since David Tennant left, but they've knocked the nail on the head with this episode, tackling how bad racism was back in the 1950s, such a hard episode to watch, and also teaching younger generations about an iconic moment and legend, Rosa Parks, hashtag Doctor Who. We have to help. We have to not help her. Thank goodness that Doctor Who doesn't take Rosa Parks' agency away by having the Doctor or Ryan or anyone else inspire her to take action. This was all Rosa. That's something which was specific. Like, if Doctor Who had been like, come on, love, you can do it, love, then it would have been very, very hard to sell that in the US. Georgia Tennant, who played the Doctor's daughter, is married to a previous Doctor. My daughter hasn't cried this much at Doctor Who since she watched her father turn into Prince Philip. Hashtag Rosa Parks. And how the characters experienced 1950s America. So Marjorie Blackman, who's Rosa Parks? No, Rosa Parks is. She refused to give up her seat and moved to the back of the bus. And she lived to be 92. She died on 24th of October 2005. God damn, Rosa Parks. Iconic lady. Also in other news today, this thing, FOMOMOG. Do you FOMOMOG? FOMOMOG is the fear of missing out on my goals. Model Leomi Anderson used the term in a recent column for the female-focused website LAP. A lot of acronyms here. Reminds me of Nathan Barley in Sugar 8 magazine. Despite having a top modeling career, a big fan base, and her own clothing line, the 25-year-old still finds she questions her achievements. Why do I feel like I'm running out of time to achieve my goals? At 18, I wanted a house by 23. At 23, I wanted to have yearly earnings of nearly $1 million. By 25, by 26, I want to be a mum. I want to be able to retire. None of those things have happened for me, and every day I feel anxious. It's something that Emily Thomas, 25, from Manchester, can relate to. She got married in July, owns a house with a husband, has a job in PR, but has still experienced FOMOMOG. A month after I got married, I was off with stress. I got to the point I deleted my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, she said. Felt so miserable about my own life. She has a job in PR. How can you delete these things? I was struggling to see what was in front of me. At 25, I'm still driving the Yaris my mum bought for me, and I'm doing the same role at work, and I'm not progressing. I thought at this point I'd be earning more. I lie awake at night. Fiona McCarr, 29, from Oxfordshire, said she experienced FOMOG after breaking up with a partner of 7 years. I lie there awake at night, thinking I'm not on track. It worries and frustrates me. And that for FOMOG equals more bullocks. Yes, I'm pretty happy the way I get jealous. She's hoping to become a journalist. She's graduated from uni and says social media has an impact on her. FOMOG. She worries about not being at the right point in her career already. 5 young people share their concerns about the future. I'm not going to play it because I'll get screwed. Social media has played an increasing FOMOG. Right place, right time. She's taken a break from social media because it allows you to take a step back and consider what you've got and what you're doing. You have to remember some people have had a head start. Sometimes in the right place at the right time. Remember, everyone has their own journey and their own path. This particular story, I felt spoke to me because I get a little bit of FOMOG every now and then because I'm like, I haven't got what I need to get. But at the same time, that doesn't always happen, and my FOMOG is sometimes better. And I don't have to worry about it too much. But it does seem like a very, very, very millennial thing. Oh, I don't think like I wanted to have £1 million by the time I was 25, but I only have 750,000. Like, it's very, very, very first world problems, isn't it? But yes, if you are suffering from FOMOG, then you can, if you're suffering from FOMOG and you feel like you're missing out on your goal of helping support me and make sure that the Fowl original brand continues on into the future. I mean, I don't really have a head start. All I do is have my big old bird face. If you go to fowloriginal.com, you will see my big old bird face. When you see my big old bird face, you can go ahead and click support the channel. Click support the channel, it will take you through to Patreon, streamlabs.com/Fowl Original Wrestling. You can also go ahead to the PayPal donation page. You click that, it will take you to my PayPal donation page. You can go ahead there and say, give me $5. Make it a monthly donation to help support the channel on a regular basis. That's like a cup of coffee every month. It also would help support the channel's hosting fees. You can also make it a one-off donation. Let me know who you are. I am Jimbo. My name is Judge. Thank you very much for that. If you can do that. If not, please just like, share, subscribe, follow, all those things. I may be having some stuff that you guys can have a look at in the future to help support the channel in other ways. And if you can, I may have some new things in the works in the next few weeks. I hope that you're all along for the ride. Now, on that, I think I wanted to talk about the Komoshi stuff, but I don't think I need to, because we're going to probably end up talking about that tomorrow, and there'll be more on it. So let's take you to a quick metro mode. Let's look how big the chat is. I need to fix that. I've just changed some of the chat things, so let's get that working. Restream chat. Let's bring that down. And if I do that, I think then, and if we bring that, you know, sometimes when you build something, you're like, how the hell did I do that in the first place? Whoops. Well, how the hell did you do that, Fowl? We'll leave it like that for now. But Metro Moments. So, Metro Moments today. Got a copy of the Metro. Nasty party rounds on May. There's a lot of stories here about Theresa May and how she is going to get by her party, and they are ready to just stab her in the front. A lot of them have said we're going to stab her in the front. Very, very, the Conservative Party do not hold anything back. Now, first of all, in the Metro, we have a look at this story, which I'm really excited about. I didn't realise that it was these two actors. I saw the trailer, I didn't realise. Now, Steve Coogan and John C. Reilly are playing Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy in a biopic, and there's a picture of them in their kilts. They look fantastic. The movie's coming out in January. I'm totally going to go watch that. It's called, it is actually called Stan and Ollie. And it was shown yesterday at the BFI London Film Festival in Leicester Square. Very excited. Ooh, very excited for that film. Very excited. We've also got some stuff about a guitar that went between those two people that had a snog the other day from Strictly. I don't know these things. Sometimes TV just confuses me. We've got Ryan. We're going to talk about this as the last thing in the night. Ryanair's faces backlash over passengers' racist tirade. That's a story where this guy went kind of crazy because someone, a black lady, didn't move fast enough. She's disabled and she was having some issues getting up, and he apparently got angry because she took too long to let him in. We got Megan. I'm just going to find some of these stories that I've actually. There we go. We got one. Not a great idea to talk about it. Lana Del Rey has mocked a stalker who was jailed for bringing a knife to a gig in the Orlando area earlier this year. The singer 33 tweeted, "If you bring weapons to the show and you're posting about it, the police will probably know about it before I do." I mean, now you're just asking for someone to do it without saying it on Twitter first. And litter team must keep stab vests. The litter team in Colchester who have stab vests. It's crazy. Those are the ones that go up, and they said that they look like RoboCop. They have stab vests because they obviously have to. What if May loses the backing of the DUP over the border non-agreement? There goes the majority. Indeed, indeed. Some of the politics, as I said, is we're going to talk about some of that tomorrow. But today, I'm rushing through so we can get to keep this half an hour where we are 20 minutes now. We've got some Alfred Molina stuff. Some very, very cool stuff here, actually. Now, we had a story about cows invading a garden and munching. A pensioner almost choked on a cuppa as a dozen cows roamed through her small suburban garden. Startled June Hayes, 86, couldn't believe her eyes when the animals entered the property one by one. They munched their way through a vegetable patch, polishing off her cabbages, cauliflowers and sprouts, leaving a trail of cow pats behind. Neighbours heard her cries for help and hoofed it over to help look for the owner. Mrs. Hayes, who has lived at the house in Radcliffe 66 years, said, I was in my conservatory with a cup of tea when all of a sudden this cow walked by, then another one. I think they smelled cabbages. They have decimated my garden. They've eaten everything, including the apples off the trees. A nearby dairy farmer ushered them back to their field within a few hours. And there's another story down here as well, actually. Those are the cows that were in her garden. There's cows in her garden. Addison Lee self-driving taxis on the road by 2021. Addison Lee plans to launch self-driving taxi in London in 3 years' time. That is very, very close. Together they'll create digital maps of more than 250,000 miles of roads after forming a deal with Oxbotica, which specializes in self-driving vehicle software. They will know every curb, road sign, landmark and traffic light for the cars to navigate. And the Addison boss says urban transport will change behind recognition in the next 10 years with the introduction of self-driving services, and we intend to be at the forefront. Autonomous technologies hold the key. Chancellor Philip Hammond wants genuine driverless vehicles on British roads also by 2021. The Law Commissioner is reviewing driving laws to ensure the UK is at the forefront. Addison Lee faces competition from Uber and several other firms that are also looking at adopting driverless cars. The company posted a £20.8 million loss last year after buying rivals abroad. Addison Lee, owned by the US Carlyle Group, was founded in Battersea, South London. Now, we also have this story, which is a classic. This is a classic Metro story, if I've ever read one before. Hello there, Ron. Look, classic one. A refurbished Intercity 125 broke down on its maiden journey because the driver sounded the horn for too long. The VIP-filled Aberdeen to Edinburgh train, which had a £2 million upgrade, was 30 minutes late. ScotRail, which is improving 26 trains, said it was an air leak related to the horn, which knocked out some functions. An insider said, it's like something from Thomas the Tank Engine. Very embarrassing and part of the problem of using 40-year-old trains. And I think it's classic Metro, right? Like sometimes you read the Metro, you just think, what am I doing with my life? Let's see if I have one more story in here. I know on page 35. I dug deep into the Metro today. Page 35, and it was. And that's it. That's it. That's the Metro for today. Because the Metro today was pretty crap, to be honest. Other than like stories about other stuff. So, hello there, Ron. Exactly. Very nice to catch me on. Now we are looking to wrap up the show now. So we're going to take you in other news, Metro moments, but with the twist, because these are some Metro moments that I found. Well, this is the Metro moment that it's kind of a Metro moment that happened before. And I wanted to talk about it because, like, it's really, really weird. It's the weird story from before. So this is a story about a woman became paralyzed while having sex with married millionaire businessman. Now, this is extra information that we didn't know about before when we first read this story about a woman being catapulted off her bed. Beautician Claire Busby from Maidenhead, Berkshire, suffered a serious injury to her spine when she was catapulted from the super king-sized double divan as she performed a sex act on John Marshall 55. It all changes now. There's more to this story. In the Metro before, it was a bit like, I swung my legs round and da 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 da. She is arguing the bed was in a defective state and is taking legal action against Berkshire Bed Company, trading as Beds R Us, for 7-figure damages over the August 2013 incident. Bloody hell. At first, Mr. Marshall thought the accident was funny, but soon realised the seriousness of what had happened. Mr. Marshall had been married to his wife Sue for 19 years and had only been separated from her for a matter of days when he began his relationship with Ms. Busby. I mean, just quick editorial. Yeah, of course, he just started this affair just days after his divorce. He never started it before. Wink. I'm winking because I'm wearing sunglasses. But Mr. The divorce papers show the couple, who have 2 children together, had officially split, and the court heard Ms. Busby and Mr. Marshall met in Spain later that month. Mr. Marshall insists that he and Ms. Busby were not in a sexual relationship before his and his wife separated. There's already extra wheels to this story. Friends close to the couple said Ms. Busby's accident exposed their relationship because Mr. Marshall said he was moving from their home near Alloa in Scotland to Surrey in order to be her carer. He's a good guy. At least he's coming over. But 3 weeks later, he returned to Scotland because he was not cut out to look after her, the court heard. So, bad on her. In a statement, Mr. Marshall, who has since remarried, fantastic, told the court he saw his lover roll backwards off the bed with her feet in the air, slow motion, while they were having sex. He said, "I didn't see how she landed, and at first I laughed, not realising that she had hurt herself. I was expecting her to get up, and when she didn't, I laughed and said, 'Get up!' But she said that she had hurt herself. When I got up to look over the end of the bed, she was laying on her side with her arm underneath her, and I thought that she had hurt her arm." Such a crap. It's classic. She said she could not feel her arms and legs. I thought she was joking, and I laughed. She told me again that she had hurt herself, and to call an ambulance. So I called her an ambulance. Oh, she is paralysed though. Ms. Busby claims she was catapulted off the bed. Ms. Busby previously told the court that the bed gave way and she toppled as she moved position. Yes, she said that. Yeah. I spun around, I put my hand down, then I felt like I was catapulted off the back of the bed, she said. My head hit the floor, fell to the side, and then I heard like a spring in my body snap, it felt like. Her sister, Natalie Busby, said that when she went to the property after the accident, she noticed there were 2 feet missing from the bed. They did not discuss the matter until much later because Ms. Busby was in such poor health. Lawyers for the bed company. Exactly, this is a super duper classic Metro Pride. Lawyers for the bed company argue that it was properly assembled at the time of delivery and that even if the 2 gliders were missing by the time of the accident, they could not cause the bed to lose balance. Their hearing continues, so we are going to get more from this story. And I mean, I've just seen the story here. This is classic Metro. Tesco worker farted in face of colleague who is now suing for £20,000. I mean, that's just amazing. I can't because we have to wrap the show up. So, coming up to the half an hour mark. First of all, as I've said, go to fowloriginal.com, help support the channel. And lastly, let's take you to our in other news. Let's wrap the show up because I feel like that will bring the whole show down. Our top story for today was UK Games Master magazine closes its doors. Very sad day. As sad as the day, said Patrick Moore. God smiled down upon him, left us. And I'm going to leave you with this, which is a story which, as we've been talking about planes, this is an old TV show that you may or may not know. I remember it when I was a kid, and thinking about Games Master made me think about this. Quite a simple child, really, aren't I? I don't really need a lot. But I wanted to say tomorrow we'll be doing Fowl Originals Newsround again. That's happening at 10:30, actually 10:30. And we'll also be doing Fowl Originals Weekly Wrestling Recap, which is happening on. Yeah, exactly. I can't wait for that story to develop as well. Fowl Originals Newsround, which will be happening on Wednesday. We're going to be talking about Evolution. Evolution is this Sunday. If you like wrestling and you like the graps, come join me, and that will be a live show. We'll also be watching the House Hardy Halloween special, which happens directly after. So even if the show is terrible, we'll get to see something good. But I'll leave you with this, which is, as I said, a TV show which some of you may or may not know. It's called Jimbo the Jet Set. Jimbo and the Jet Set. And it's a fantastic TV show. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. It's a TV show that I remember as a child. Now, if you like the channel and if you like everything you see, please go to fowloriginal.com. You can help support the channel. We'll be talking about kids TV in the future, and I'd hope that you can join me for that. On that note, this has been a Fowl Original. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Join me tomorrow night and check out all the other things that I'm doing. Check out my Twitter. I've changed things. Have a great day. Join you tomorrow. Bye-bye.